So I'm setting you up.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to read a portion of this, but before I do that, I want you to take a few minutes and just tell us a little about yourself. You've been in real estate how long?
Now I've been 33 years, 18 years with Century 21, and in May will be 15 years here at Keller Williams.
So we have what?
33.
Yes, so we have, what is that? It's 18 more years to catch up.
Yes, at least.
Okay, we're going to work for that.
And with your guidance and wisdom on the page, will help me get there.
Yes, I'm witty comments.
Yes.
Okay, so you got real estate Century 21. Tell me about that. Just take a second and just tell us a little about your career.
So I used to be a CPA. I went to USC, graduated honors in accounting, and my family loaned the owner of the Century 21 all this money, and when we went through the recession, they couldn't pay us back, and we got ownership, and I came in as a controller at that time.
Wow.
And luckily, it was the top 5, it was number 5 in the whole Century 21 system. So we were doing a lot of volumes, just weren't profitable. And
I've heard that before.
so I was brought in to help change that. And so Mike Berry had said as management tickets, and my boss said, "Oh, this is great." So I went. They were talking about running a business like a business.
Yeah.
So I really worked on coaching the agents and doing that. And what was interesting, Matt and Tom were just starting off doing over-the-phone training. So I said, "This is great." I hired them. We hired telemarketers. And we did that. But what happened was we would generate leads and we turn to the agents and we call back and say what's going on. And they'd say, wait, we don't want those bozos. We want the guys we talk to on the phone. But they weren't licensed. So we couldn't do that. So they finally quit because they got frustrated. And I started training the agent on what to say and how to do it. Became the sales manager without ever selling.
And then you later.
Then I would take people to my firm and say, wait, I'm making $60,000 a year. And he's talking about making $500,000, $1 million. I think I'm in the wrong job.
Okay.
So I switched, becoming the salesperson, made up a business plan, and decided on August 1st, 33, this is not what I want to do, I want to go into real estate. So I made a plan, joined business planning, so I had a coach beforehand. And then I figured I would start in the fourth quarter, so I have 3 months to get started. And then I would be able to do this. It was 2000, oh no, this was probably 95. 1995. And within 2 years of just cold calling and door knocking through our area, I became the #1 agent on units in our market in Orlando Park. There was one, thank you. One lady gave me volume.
What?
Because she was doing the high end. So the thing was, I didn't even know how to get around. We didn't have, we only had map books, and I grew up in our areas. I didn't have a database of people. I only could go out and door knock and cold call and just generate business.
You've had a remarkable career.
So thank you.
We could spend more time on that, but I'm going to shift gears now that they know who you are. You're married.
Yes.
You have one kid, 2 kids?
3 daughters.
3 daughters, right?
2 of them are now working for me.
Yep. So I'm gonna read the intro of your letter, and then I'm gonna ask you just to talk about what you shared in it. Okay?
Yep.
So the title of the letter is "What I Learned from My Trip to Thailand." I'm Mark Moskowitz.
Yep.
The top real estate agent in the greater Los Angeles area. I've been selling real estate for 33 years. The last 14 were really fun at Keller Williams. I'm kidding. He didn't say that. He was waiting. Yeah. The last 14 and a half years with Keller Williams in Westlake Village, California. I'm 62 years old. When I was 17, I was diagnosed with
retinitis pigmentosa.
A hereditary eye disease that gradually takes away peripheral vision, night vision, and eventually leads to total blindness. Over the years, I've learned to adapt, to adjust, and to persevere. But this trip to Thailand was something different. It pushed me in ways I never expected. It terrified me, it humbled me, and ultimately it transformed me. And you sent this beautiful letter. In your own words, can you just take a few minutes and just tell everyone about that trip and what your ahas were?
Okay, so gotta back up for a moment. 3 years ago at family reunion, we were in Anaheim, and I came off my best year in 2021, and you said on the stage in 2022, don't tell me you're having your best year, everybody's having their best year. Let me know in the next 2 or 3 years that you're having your best year, and then you know you have great skills and you have the knowledge to really be a great agent. And so with the market coming down, and my business coming down, and really my vision changing, that became a critical moment. So think about it, close your eyes for a moment, and all of a sudden you're going on a listing appointment, and you can barely get through the house without tripping and stumbling as you're doing it. And my daughter is guiding me through the house, and I'm starting to lose things that I never would have lost if I didn't know how to do it. So I came here, I ran into Mo, and I said, Mo, I'd love to talk to you more. I'm having a challenge. She said, great, let me talk to you. I talked to you, called my assistant, I did. We talked 30 days later. And from that, every question I had came up during family reunions. When I talked to Mo a month later, she said, I thought you were going to be quitting real estate. And she goes, oh my God, you've been great. The answers came to me because I was open to it. But she suggested I talk to her friend Jim, who was on stage during the prayer breakfast at Top Up Blind. He's the one that is the producer.
Yes.
And she set me up with a conversation with him. And he said, Mark, I do everything I've always wanted to do. I'm not missing out. I just do it differently. And I said, what about travel? He goes, oh, I travel everywhere. I just do it differently. That opened the gate and the possibility of what could happen. So Mo, thank you very much for introducing me, because that was the start of this journey. And so all of a sudden we've been traveling last year. In June, I took the whole family, went to the Dominican Republic. Our friends travel, and they go, we'd like to travel with you, Mark. Are you able to do it? I said, yes. So so 2 friends called me and told me about this trip to Thailand, and I said, great. And thank God they didn't tell you a lot about the trip. So I didn't really know, so we went, and my attitude was, I figure it out as I go. I just don't want to be a burden to people holding everybody up. And so there were 33 people on the trip, and the first part through Bangkok and just getting through the streets and the sidewalks, I did really well. It was, wow, this is great, I can do it. And we did it slowly and didn't hinder anyone. Well, then we went up north, and that's when the adventure came. It was off-road wheeling and jeeps and climbing the waterfalls and everything else. Fortunately, they had one of the drivers, they said, Mark, we're just going to have Yossi guide you. It's like, okay, great, we'll figure this out. I'll just do it one step at a time and figure it out. And I can only stop when it gets too dangerous. So we get to the first waterfall, and it is all uneven ground, there's steps, none of them are even, and there's a broken pipe, and there's water coming down the stairs, and it's muddy. And I said, okay, great. So Yossi was fantastic. He said, Mark, we got this. We're going to take it one step at a time. And with his confidence, he gave me the confidence to keep going. And we did one step at a time. He was saying, this is a big step, this is a little step. And each time, oh my God, Mark, you're doing so great. I can't believe it.
What's going on in your mind?
It was freeing having someone guide you and walk you through. And when people were behind us, we stopped and let them pass us. So don't let people push you beyond your comfort level. You need to stop for a moment and gain your thoughts and gain your composure and gain understanding of where you're going. That's okay. Take a moment and then you can keep going. So all of a sudden we got to the top of the waterfall and it was incredible. Then we decided we're going to climb up to the geyser. So now as we're going, well, there's a canopy of trees over us. He said, hey Mark, stop. Feel this. He goes, oh, that's the roots coming from the canopy down to the ground. This is this. So I now am feeling things in a different way. So it's different, but I can still experience and do it in a completely different way.
Now, question.
Please.
Had you known that it was going to be
No. Then I found out later it was called an adventure trip. And if I knew it was going to be this much adventure, I probably would have gone. So sometimes we let our fears stop us. Don't do that. And many times people came up to me at the end of the day, like especially when we went down to the hot springs and had to do that, and that was absolutely treacherous. And several people said, Mark, if you could actually see what was ahead of you, you would have never have done it. So not seeing was actually an advantage, and then I got to do it and enjoy it. And then on the way back,
were there people on your trip that didn't do it?
My wife and I were the youngest. The average age of this trip was probably 66 to 74. People were coming up to me and saying, I wanted to back out, but because you were doing it, I couldn't back out, and everyone did more.
Wow.
Yeah. Can I went on 8 different boats, and that's the scary part. So think about it. You're now going to get on a boat that's moving and rocking, and you're not sure. And if you've been to Thailand, some of these boats aren't very good boats. If I could see them, you probably wouldn't want to go either. And then you're sitting down, and you're 3 inches off the ground, or sitting on the ground. However, what I found out in good communication, if someone explained to me up front what we're going to walk down here, we're going to make a left, and we're going to stand up, hop on the bus, or hop on the boat this way or that way, then I had a mental picture of what to do, and I could then figure it out. So good communication really made a difference.
I have a question.
Please.
So you made a statement earlier, Mark, we wanted to back out once we saw that you were going to do it. We had to go do it. How many times in your life before those moments did people come up to you and say that?
I mean, when I teach classes, I always tell people about door knocking. I would always door knock, and believe me, there have been times where I was walking around a corner and I always cut, at the same time I cut across someone's grass and I didn't see a step, and I'd gone flying across the front lawn, and there were papers are all over, and I've done that. One time I was door knocking, I cut across someone's grass, and I ran into a branch right in the forehead. I'm bleeding from where it hit my glasses. I split my pants from the crotch all the way up to the back, and I'm sprawled out bleeding, looking around. Thank God nobody's there to see this, or I take my notepad and take the blood off of my forehead. Now, I just went to the cleaners and I had a new pair of pants. So I went and changed my pants and finished up that walk. Because you can't end on a bad note. It was more important to continue than let this stop.
Okay, so we're back on the boats.
We're back on the boats. Okay, so we're back on the boat, so we got to do that. We got to do, and so we did that. We did the elephants. So my guy was waiting, but to get down to the river to wash the elephants, you got to go down and slide in the mud. So we learned how. So we knew if the road was wide, I'd take his elbow and he would guide me. He'd say, Mark, it's slow, it's rocky, it's bumpy, not a problem. And if he got really narrow, I said, okay, and I put my hand on the shoulder. We learned to communicate and had different words. Now, through this, my wife also was guided. She was absolutely amazing. And my daughter said to us, you guys are great, but you bicker way too much. Okay? And she has no patience sometimes for helping me, and I have no patience for her instructions. Has that ever happened in your marriage? Okay. And so, our daughter said to us, you guys can do this, but just have a little grace and a little patience with each other, and it'll be amazing what you can accomplish. Okay? So, my wife was amazing. in guiding me. I was amazing in receiving the information, and we became, by the end, we were the poster child of how to have a liturgy and communicate, which is actually shocking as we did. So I have to go back to the Dominican Republic, and my wife had a major argument. Okay? We were getting on a shuttle bus, and in my mind, I'm thinking it's a big bus. I'm gonna walk up 3 stairs, walk down the aisle, and then find my seat. It happened to be a minivan. We were going through the side door. So I went up the 2 steps, and I'm trying to turn. She's yelling at me to sit down. The driver grabs me by the shoulders and yanks me into the seat. How do you think that made me feel or comfortable? And she's yelling at me, I'm the guy, you need to listen. And I'm saying, I didn't feel safe. This is the key point. When you're guiding someone or directing someone, they must feel safe for them to receive the information. So after about a week of this argument, would explain to me what type of bus it was, I didn't know. This entire trip says, oh Mark, we're on a big bus and you're gonna go left. We're getting in the side. By having a little understanding, I could move forward and I could accomplish anything. So could you.
So, 2 things.
Please.
2 things. 1, are you okay if we publish this?
Yes, you can publish it.
I'd like to send it to everybody. Is that okay with you?
Yep. Can I make a comment on that real quick?
Please.
So, one of the things I truly believe is there's a purpose, and God sends us the right people at the right time. Unfortunately, we're not always open to receiving. And so if we're very stubborn or we look at things from a more negative standpoint, when the people come in, we're not ready to receive them or recognize them. And thank God over my life, many things that happened, I did not understand them at that time, but now they make sense. And I had to learn those lessons back then to do what I'm doing now. And so part of this journey was, I had no problem letting people know I could see. However, we couldn't do it too prematurely until we were ready to tell our story in the right way. Because a year ago I lost the listing, and then they came back to me when the other person couldn't sell it. And unfortunately, people in this business, they said, oh, Mark is sick, and Mark was dying, and he may not be around when you finish up your listing to sell it, so she didn't go with me.
What?
Yep. And so I was nervous and afraid to let people know I couldn't see how am I going to do my business. So we worked on setting up the models and systems, the marketing material to show our knowledge, not our experience, as you said, our knowledge. Now people know I have the knowledge. Now in my mind it's no longer a problem with me being a blind realtor. I can now go forward. But we had to do it right. We couldn't just come out and come out. So now I'm ready to come out as a blind realtor.
So, one final question. That is the last. You gave your 10 ahas.
Yep.
And with your permission, we're going to share that.
Please.
The last one, you said growth happens outside your comfort zone. Can you end by telling us your thoughts around that?
If we get too much in our head, we won't do anything. Okay? Now, in this last year in 2024, how many times were you scared? Because we had a BRBC, we were going to completely change the way we had to do business. And people are running around the industry, the market centers, oh my God, what's going to happen? The reality is we're all in the same boat. We're all having to deal with it. If you can stay calm and now come up with a plan, you can move forward. If you go into panic mode, you can't do anything about it. And what I do know is I'm smart enough to figure it out and figure a way to move forward. I'm smart enough to know that I've been going to these events long enough that if I just listen to Gary's vision speech, he's going to give us the answers so we can now talk to our clients and be the expert. That's the key. I love your vision speech because it gives me the information I need. I don't have to see it, but I now can understand, internalize it, and now I can share that with my clients, and they go, "Oh my gosh, Mark knows so much." No, I just listened to Gary, studied it, figured out how to use it, and now I look like a genius. So if you come to these events, keep an open mind, and then move forward, you can accomplish anything. One more comment on that. You ended the vision speech going through those numbers and saying, it's not good or bad. My take backstage was, this is fantastic. We're going to still do about the same. I did well last year, not as well as I wanted, but we put the tools and the systems in place to move forward. With what I now know from last year, my new mindset, this new confidence, we can really go forward and conquer the world. However, prices are going to continue to go up, you said that, so I'm going to make even more money as I do a little bit more or a lot more. So stop going into fear of the unknown. Just go forward. If you take enough action, you can course correct along the way, and you can accomplish anything you want.
Thank you, Mark. Will you stand with me?
I will.
Okay. Now, we're going to end on this note. I want to ask you, please stand up and give a round of applause and appreciation. We're going to